Hey gamers, what is happening? This is Ish Daily Ish. I am back with another Madden Ultimate Team. This gonna be a little bit of gameplay at the end, but mainly today what I wanted to touch on was going to be, a topic that comes up a bit in the Mudhead forums, and this is actually asked of me a little bit from time to time when I play head to head, and this is going to be touching on the style and chemistry, questions this year. I mean, because as you know, EA, they won't tell us anything about it. They've been asked, and they basically say they just want us to be able to feel it for ourselves or not feel it, and to base our lineup on that. They basically won't answer it, which is just a crock. I mean, it's amazing the company won't deal with it. So as you see here at the beginning of almost every game, what I'm going to do is I go into my lineup, I reorder the lineup, and since a couple players based on their overalls are not in the positions, I normally have to go back into my cornerbacks and my wide receivers, about the only two positions I kind of have to manually reorder. Doesn't take very long. But this is something, while I'm doing this, people are like, what are you doing? You're trying to hide your good players, or what is going on? So my theory on this, guys, basically is this. I don't know if these work. I really honestly do not know if the head-to-head these make a difference or not. But in case it does, I want to take advantage of it. But I also don't want to base my team around it. I think that's, just a silly way to go about it, because as you know, if you do the solo challenges, basically, if you do that, you go into those games and you get your styles where you want it, and then you start the game, you can switch. So basically they're locked in. And my opinion is these are going to be locked in when you start the game after kickoff. And the reason why this has to be true is, look at my lineup here. I'm flipping back from, I have a lineup that's basically my overall, so I can see what my overall is. And then I have one that's basically going to be this style one. So I get my 99s in here. And I always go into the games with this. But if you take the time to look and actually count, and most people don't do this for some reason, but if you actually look at all the starters that are going to be in here, there are 12 starters that are going to be on a team right here. Look, you count them. There are 12 players that are going to be in on this. And we all know there's only 11 players on the field. So it comes down to this, guys. Basically, you are either locked in at the start of a game because there's 12 players to build a chemistry, or EA's screwing you, which, I mean, I'm not going to put that past them. But, what's really going to make the most sense is that. I'm okay, because you can't have all 12 guys on the field. It doesn't matter if people changing out. You can't do it. So what position wouldn't be there? So basically, with their setup, the way the game is, you have to be locked in once the game starts. So it really doesn't matter what you do after that. You can change your lineup afterwards. So this is why at the beginning of the game, like I say, I go in with my 87 and not my 91s, and then I just reorder my roster. It doesn't take very long. It's pretty simple. I don't bother looking at other teams' lineups. I know some people think you're doing that. Some people think you're just trying to get a different matchup. I really could care less about who you're playing. I'm going to see them on the field when I do. And really, it's your gameplay that matters the most. Not necessarily. I mean, sure, your players do matter, but at the end of the day, you know what? If you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't matter. And this guy here, I left the blue open right there. Of course, I get this unnecessary roughness. But this time, I'm going to put Terrell in the blue, and he makes the pick. That's kind of the way I'll tend to bait people from time to time. I'll leave a zone open, in some of my coverages, and let them think it's going to be there. And some players will go right back to it automatically, and on occasion it'll work. I'll get a pick that way. So I don't mind that. There, I'm trying to do like a modified swing, and I basically dumped that off way too late, and my guy was already planted his feet, so he couldn't take off. But it's okay. It's something new. But he comes out in the wall stunt, which is the other new famous thing. People are kind of coming out to stop the, those halfback strongs and those counters, which is going to leave a play like that. That deep sideline pass is going to be open. And there, I kind of actually get that play right. I will run that a couple times in here, something I'm just working on, because when I basically have a Gronk out there, and there's the Freddie B screen for a touch. But when I have a Gronk in the backfield with a halfback, the linemen aren't going to move in that way like they're running a screen pass. But I can still throw Gronk ahead on a swing, and then I run on a wheel, and then I put a swing behind it with the running back. So basically, I got a lead blocker for me. It's just another one of these new things I'm just tinkering with, easy adjustments to make. And right there, he's doing a little rollout stop. So this drive works out pretty good for him. I kind of misuse a couple spots pretty bad, but it's kind of funny. Once you get up to the top 2 or 3 levels here, and Sherman should have had that pick, but when I switched on him, I guess I canceled his jump animation, so it's my fault. You notice it seems like 90% of everybody you play runs nothing but halfback strong, halfback counter, followed up by these little rollout, the BA rollouts and stuff. Well, you kind of get used to it. And this drive, I'm kind of just playing loose. I'm not really set on the defense I want to use against the guy. Actually, right there is a cover 2 sink, and how the hell did he leave the middle of the field wide open? I didn't quite get that. That's exactly where my guy should have been, but I don't know what they did. But it's going to happen time to time. But I give it to him on this drive. Pretty good. He puts it together. Buchanan lights him up, but he holds on to the ball. So that's a new addition. That's a cheap rising star for me. If you see me play, I do use my strong safety quite a bit. So he's not really better than Burnett. But for usering, I believe he is. The speed, the hit power up there. But again, that's just part of my game I'm having to work on. Every so often, pretty good at locking down. It seems like when I'm on the money, no one throws at me. And then when I'm playing sloppy, they're definitely gonna, I'm definitely gonna be taken advantage of. So that's probably my biggest thing. But Calvin here, after I run the no huddle, I knew he was gonna, he'd be able to beat the guys into coverage because he was running a short yardage defense. So easy over the top. I mean, my goodness. I mean, I'm getting pretty decent at that Calvin pass here. I go back to the wide circle route, and most people, after I run that once or twice, how I beat him earlier with Gronk, they will start usering, and it's pretty easy to tell when the guy's usering that. So I will throw it underneath and go away from him. And a nice spin by Jamal. Cuts right behind the guy. He was playing it fairly well. He already saw I liked to spin, but he just couldn't stop that. And he's pretty much going to be running a lot of this base here. But this time around, I've already made my adjustment. I think I've got the defense for the rest of the game for him. It's actually a nickel 3-3-5 I'm running, making modifications. And Captain Poe splits double team right there. And then we're running to the end of the half, and basically he's goes for here, pretty good, reads in coverage though, but 8 seconds left, and he does, everyone likes to do this little bullcrap little bouncies, kicks off the ground, line drives, and I'm ready for it actually, and I actually see I already had Peterson on the angle, picks it up, and I got 2 seconds left to kick the field goal here. So, just something, if you can time that right, you will cut those off. It's kind of sucks when you miss them. They drop back like 20 yards, but whatever. I don't get a full kick, but I got Greg the leg, so hey guys, I make it anyway, and of course he's going to come out with the onside kick. It's pretty typical. I'm seeing the same stuff, like I say, over and over. Very few of you guys, for some reason, are actually coming out with original type offenses. I don't really care about the defense. Everyone does what you got to do on that. But here we go with the Jamal, the spin, and that's the elusive right now. I mean, I think elusiveness on a high elusive works better than trucking in this game this year. It's just crazy. And I mean, if I'm doing that with the 91, I'm really tempted to pick up the 94 here down the road, because I do have some success with that. And he pulls a nice screen here, and he decides to go into the hurry up offense. And I'm going to keep it. This time I'm going to leave the blue out there just in case he throws that back, and he's going to hit me underneath. Not too bad. I don't mind that really right there. You have a chance of knocking a ball out anyway in plays like that. And he's going to come back and run this one again. And now, okay, I'm like, all right, if he's going to continue to run this play, this time around, all I do is I run the same D, but I use underneath, coverage on it. And this time you can see that Kuechly's going to step in front of that pass and an easy pick. So, I see what he's doing there, but man, you're going to run a play 3 times in a row and think I'm not going to make an adjustment at that point. I mean, come on, And here we go with the Freddie B screen, but I have the D line touched me and I missed the pass. That would have been a big gain. But I've already up 24-7. This is, this game was basically the one that put me in a playoff, and that's one I recorded right before I put these clips together. So it's kind of what you get. I know it's not the best game. I don't really normally put up games where I'm kind of blowing people out. It's not the best ones to watch. But offensively, I put it together pretty well. I was feeling pretty good about the offense. It's starting to come together right there. Those little slants, mid slants, and then you modify it, you just put the guy out in motion. It seems to work pretty good. A good user will key on it after a while. Don't want to run it too often, but it is something that will actually create a lot of space and kind of get you open for those 8 to 10 yard gains. And now we hit him up to my own wide receiver screen, and then Sherman with it, easy up the middle. Those fullbacks are easy to get those yards. Calvin coming across, and he actually lays me out. I don't know if that DRC or whatnot. The only reason I didn't even make a move. And here we go with the wheel again with this with this swing out on it, and it's just basically a shovel pass and just takes it easy. That's what I was trying to hit earlier. I got an 8 yard play and then stuff on one, so that time I actually run it pretty well. So, and that's, like I said, you can run that out of anything where you have 2 backs out there. It's pretty simple. And he's got Warren Moon with number 1. I don't know if he thought it was Cam Newton because he's got a 1, but he gets laid out. Just kills him. And here we go. Big old Calais Campbell chasing him down. Then he runs in Justin Smith, coughs it up, 31-7 at that point. The game, I think he had enough. He just powered off and went to bed. He was done playing for the night. And guys, why is Calais Campbell so fat in this game? He's a huge guy, but he is lean. I really wish they didn't make the body for him like that. And of course, we made the playoffs undefeated, and we get the 3 reward badge pack, pull a gold, and we've got ourselves a collectible. So we can go ahead and do that if I'm up for that. I'm not really going to make the entire sets, but I'll do those because you get some coin out of it. So that turns out to be a pretty decent run. I hear they're actually getting better rates on those now. I don't know if it's true or not, but as soon as I heard that, the first time I get a pack, I pull it. So, hey, thanks guys for watching. Good luck with everything and the styles with yourself.